See if that jumps some energy into them. Lazinski throws it across. Out there with Van Riemsdyk and Frost. In front, shot, score! Morgan Frost, 3-1 Philadelphia.
This is episode 86 of the Liberty Yell. Danny Deemer here with Chris Stumpo.
How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Season gets underway this Thursday, and we are joined by the boys over at Tie My Skates Pod.
Yep, that is at Tie My Skates Pod on Twitter. Drunk Gritty, Tie My Skates _Z, and your boy Coots join us. Welcome, boys. It's good to have you.
What's up,
Hey,
boys? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely.
What a pleasure.
Should be fun. Let's jump into it.
Did anyone get into that John Tortorella interview with John Clark that just came out
I saw some of the comments. I didn't watch it, though.
The one when he said that he didn't want Johnny Gaudreau because we weren't ready.
Yep, obviously that was the main highlight. And Chris's problem with that is that the GM is going in the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
He's still selling us on winning now. So I thought that was very interesting. I watched that whole interview yesterday. I still love what Tortorella's saying. It's just there's zero hopes up.
What Tortorella's saying is like very reasonable, but I think Chucky is a little scared of the fan base.
It's definitely, like the business side is pushing what Chuck is feeding us. But, like, I've loved everything Tortorella said since he got here. I saw another, it looked like a Zoom interview or something today, where he was just like, no one in the league respects us. I was like, that's hilarious and true.
That's right. I did see. I absolutely loved that. I absolutely loved it.
I mean, he's definitely one of the only coaches that we've had in a recent time that hasn't blown smoke up the media's asses. I mean,
that's what it is, right?
Yeah,
it's the honesty.
It's great. But the big problem with what that whole thing, that interview with John Clark, for me at least, was, yeah, we agree with what you are saying towards. I mean, we were on your boat in the beginning of the offseason. We were all like, okay, let's rebuild. Let's go for Bedard. Let's let young kids develop. And Chuck was like, no, aggressive retool all summer. And then you say no to Johnny. And, I mean, this is your fault. Like, you're the reason why the fans are mad. Like, we didn't just grasp at straws because of Johnny was a free agent. Yeah, I mean, of course those rumors were going to pop up because he's Johnny Gaudreau and he's from New Jersey. He grew up a Flyers fan. But, I mean, like, you really kind of, like, really fed into that. Aggressive retool is exactly what Johnny Gaudreau would have been. You let go to G. He's better than G at this point in his career. I mean, that would have been an aggressive retool, and you're the reason why the fans are mad. Like, they're not just mad for no reason. So, I mean, that was my big thing with that.
And also that he, like, doubled down on it after free agency.
Yeah. Like, this is a retool.
Like, it is a retool. Yeah, that was so funny.
It doesn't make any sense, and that's why it's kind of confusing because Chuck hired Torts, so, I mean, you would think they would be on the same page, but from what he was saying all offseason, leading up to like a week or two before training camp, maybe 3-4 weeks, maybe a month, now they're just kind of like saying different things, so it's definitely weird as a Flyers fan who's been following this nonstop.
I just think they could have done like they should have fucking cleared so much cap this offseason, and they all they did was spend to the cap and have a shitty roster, and it just like makes no fucking sense.
That's Danny's main point. Danny's like, you have a bottom 5 team who's all the way up to the cap.
Like, deciding to hang on to JVR and play out his deal, like, basically solidified to me that this is a rebuild. Has to be. We're not a winning team with James Van Riemsdyk making $7 million.
I don't want to run it back to the problems that happened in free agency, but would you guys have paid 2023 first or 2024 first to get rid of JVR, or is that something that you guys wouldn't have done?
I mean, I was personally on board with it because I looked at it as you're giving up a 2024, 2025 first-round pick to go get Johnny Gaudreau, and I was okay with that. If it's going to cost me 25% of JVR's contract, a first-round pick in 2025 to go get Johnny Gaudreau, yeah, I was cool with that. I mean, if that's what we were doing, yeah.
I was definitely pushing for it, but in hindsight, it may have been the best move, but I was definitely pushing for it at the time.
I think teams probably wanted that 2023 first, too. And I feel like the only way I would have dealt that 2023 first if it was top 10 protected and like it flips to 24 if we were that bad.
But then you look at Sean Monahan over there in Calgary, who had 2 hip surgeries over the summer. I mean, over the last year. had 8 goals total, and then he gets shipped for absolutely nothing. And you're telling me that JVR couldn't get shipped for? You're telling me teams were slamming on the table saying you have to give me a 2023
also
first
like
round pick?
Oliver Bjorkstrand, better player than JVR, but didn't he also get like dumped for like nothing to Seattle?
He did, yeah. When they went and got Johnny, yeah.
They know that fucking Chuck is weak. Like I feel like no one respects him.
He doesn't have it.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing I've heard. It seems so many things on Twitter saying that every GM in this league knows that Chuck Fletcher, you're going to win that negotiation. Like, you are going to completely fleece him, and every GM in the league knows that, and they take advantage of him. And that's exactly what probably happened this summer.
I know we're gonna get to Flyer season predictions as we move on in this episode, but I honestly think like we couldn't move JVR during free agency, but I honestly think we're going to be able to move him at the trade deadline, and I think we actually can get something of value for him, especially because this is the last year in his deal, and we can retain $3.5 million of that 7.
You're gonna have to.
If we know JVR, we know he plays great when there's zero pressure, and there's definitely zero pressure this season. So
he's potting
out there with your
25
playing
easy.
time. Yep, potting easy 25, and that would be a dream scenario, really.
I mean, as long as he doesn't have 11 at the trade deadline like he had last year, as long as he's having a better first half, I'm definitely on board with getting rid of him.
Tortorella might health bomb him.
Hey, Tortorella did mention in that interview with John Clark there was some veterans that he was definitely disappointed with as training camp went on. He's got to be one of them.
I forgot he was on the
probably
team.
Yeah,
JVR during the preseason. I was like, I forgot he played a couple games. Are you kidding me? I haven't heard this guy's name once. I mean, I know it's just preseason, but damn, dude.
You know what sucks about JVR is he was actually good for a long time. We just dumped him before he was really good, and got him back when he started to downfall again.
Yeah. Maple Leafs JVR was nice.
I mean, playing with the players he played with, sitting in front of that net and on that power play is probably. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. Obviously, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I mean, he's got to credit those guys for a lot of those goals that year.
I'd argue it's one of the hardest things in the league to sit in front of that net and just get beat up night after night. I mean, I praise him for that. Because there's defenders that will fuck you up in front of the net.
The battle itself, definitely. I mean, you got to be like a different person to take that kind of pain in front of the net. But I'm talking about just like the chances that he got off of the guys that played on his wings. Matthews, I'm pretty sure Nylander. Wasn't Marner there when he had that huge year? So I mean, it's a lot easier playing with them than it is who he was playing with here.
Yeah, that power play was definitely stacked for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have Giroux at me. Like towards the end of Giroux's career with the Flyers, he wasn't the best power play guy in the world. Like he wasn't anywhere near like prime Giroux, but I mean, he's probably the best player he's played with on a power play here at least.
Just because you mentioned Giroux, he's putting up like 75 points this year, right, with DeBrincat on his line.
Pisses
Maybe
me off
more.
every time I say it, to be honest.
He might put up more than 75, dude. You just know after Giroux went to Florida, after the trade deadline, saw his passes going in more than they were with the Flyers because the Flyers cannot finish. You just know he was never coming back here. And then he went right to Ottawa.
Dude,
go ahead, DJ.
I was honestly looking for a betting line to try to get DeBrincat to get most goals this year because I honestly think with G on that line with him that he got, what did he get, 41 last year with Chicago? I think he's easily going to hit 40 again, probably closer to 50.
Most goals in the league?
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely
he
not.
wouldn't be favored, but like it'd be a good line to take in my opinion.
It wouldn't be bad.
I
But
think Austin Matthews is going to do it again.
yeah, he's for sure going to do it again.
Yeah, but his line's like plus 250, whereas DeBrincat's would be like plus 3,000.
Yeah, I feel you. It's definitely good.
Is anyone surprised though that like you put a fucking bona fide shooter on a line with Giroux and they're putting goals in the back of the net? Like, who would have thought?
It's a wild concept, right?
Yeah, I'm really surprised at like 8 years of putting him next to Jake Voracek constantly on the power play. Didn't work. And JVR, Kevin Hayes. Those three were the only $7+ million contracts signed while Giroux was here. Most of them were just re-signings.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, one of the best players that he played. I mean, I'm not bashing Jake Voracek at all. I mean, Jake Voracek is a good player. But, I mean, like, the fact that like they're both kind of playmakers, he never really got that true elite sniper like he has with DeBrincat now.
What do you mean we had Hart?
Hard, yeah. Oh, my God.
I mean, look what he did with the ghost of Yager, dude. Like, you just pair this guy with a goal scorer.
Absolutely. I mean, I say it all the time. Like, that was probably, I mean, you can argue he's the best player that they got from him. What was it, like 40-year-old Yager? I mean, they were ridiculous together. It was one of my favorite lines to watch ever, like watching the Flyers. Very fun line to watch.
Yeah, the energy around that 2012 team was something that we've definitely haven't had since. I love that team, man.
I know. That team was... after that year, it was pretty much when it went downhill. After that Pronger injury.
Yeah, the lockout season, Ron Hextall coming in, that's definitely the starting point. Vinny LeCavier, Brizgalov.
Oh, no, stop.
Andrew McDonald.
I mean, we can get into, like, active Flyers news right now. First thing...
Yeah, let's talk about this year, not
yeah.
the past.
So the big thing that's the big topic on Twitter right now in Flyers land is Cam York getting sent down. And there's a lot of opinions, especially in the group chat that I'm in. There's a lot of different opinions on if it's a good move if he went down. Danny, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I like Tortorella just saying he basically didn't earn it. A lot of people were mad that Adder got the spot over him. It's like, oh, we're a better hockey team with Cam York in, but we're clearly not gunning to win games this season, so it's really all about the culture and the standard, if you will, and I think that's fair. You can't just give it to Cam York because he's a first-round pick who was projected to make the team this season. Like, he didn't have a good camp, and it's not the end of the world for him to go down to the Phantoms and get some confidence and then come back up when he's ready, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, took the words right out of my mouth, see? What do you think?
I mean, he'll be back up in like 10, 15 games. Like this whole lineup's going to be so fluid. Like these guys are going to be going up and down from Lehigh Valley, the guys that are like waiver exempt. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it at all. I know it got a rise on Twitter, but you know, we need something to complain about.
I mean, what doesn't get a rise on Twitter? If we're being serious. I mean, if we're being honest with each other, anything and everything that the Flyers Twitter account right now is posting is getting
everything
backlash bad. It's pretty brutal. But Gritty, what do you think about the whole York situation?
I mean, I didn't agree with it. The very first thing I tweeted out once it happened was that I don't agree with it. I understand the concept, and I know, just like Z said, he's going to be back in 10 to 15 games, and I would bet that he's going to be back in less than 10 games, probably like 2 to 3 games he'll be back up. But I don't know. I feel like after Torts said we're going to play the young guys, and then they, you know, throw York down to start Sealer over him, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think this is a lost year, and I think we should be starting Cam on the team, getting him as much minutes as possible. But at the same time, I understand, and I don't think it's going to really mess him up that much, if at all. So it really doesn't matter. I didn't agree with it, but like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at all.
Well, I mean, that's probably the exact opinion my friend Derek in my other group chat had. He was pretty much saying, I mean, this is a lost season. Let's kind of just play him. Who really cares if he goes through growing pains up here at this point? But I kind of lean on the side of he didn't really deserve the spot. And if we're going to talk about how this team needs accountability throughout the organization, I think handing a spot to a kid just because his name's Cam York doesn't bode well for the message that they're trying to send throughout.
But to the point about playing the kids, I mean, the Cates brothers, Frost made the team, and even Adder, he's a young player. The young kids are definitely still playing. He's probably just the one example of getting sent down.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
And
I think the key thing...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think the key thing we've been hearing about York this camp was lackadaisical. And we all know that Torts, you know, he wants energy, he wants that commitment. And if you get a guy like York with all the skill in the world to play with a high motor, he's going to be an elite level defenseman. So I think this little time down in the AHL is going to motivate him, or it's meant to motivate him, and we'll see him as soon as possible too.
Now, how about this? I have a little curveball to throw. Shout out Derek on Twitter, Suitable Atlas. He has a little thing that he's kind of worried about with this whole Cam York thing, and it's the only argument, in my opinion, that is valid about this whole situation, and it's that John Tortorella is sitting here saying, I want you to be more assertive with the puck. You can do more. You can kind of take over games. I want you to have an entire shift where you make an impact on the game. And Lappy's thing over there in the AHL is, I want you to make the simple play, to get the puck off your stick as soon as you get it. I don't want, it's two completely different things that both of these coaches are asking for. So The worry is that he goes down to the AHL. He does the things that Lappy wants him to do to get the call up, because Lappy and Tortorella, they talk, and they're very close in who comes up and who goes down. And then he comes up to the NHL, and Torch is like, well, I want you to be assertive with the puck. I want you to take over shifts. I don't want you to just slap the puck off your stick as soon as you get it. So it's kind of like a communication thing between the two that I'm kind of worried about. And Derek makes a really good point when he brings that up. But, I mean, I was just seeing your guys' opinion on that. See?
Well, Lappy's a fucking idiot. But
Agreed.
I think he's gonna play his game down in the AHL, and I think he's gonna like dominate early on and kind of make it undeniable to be called up. Kind of like when Farabee went down at the beginning of his first season, when they had the whatever, it wasn't Flyers 24/7, but whatever the fuck it was called, and AV was like, "Hey, you keep doing your thing, like you're gonna get called up soon." When they were in like Switzerland or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think it's gonna be like a similar situation. He's gonna play his game. He's probably going to dominate down there, and he'll be back up in whatever 5 to 10 games. He'll get his 70 games this year.
Yeah, I just have a hard time. Like, I know Lappy was the heart and soul kind of player. You know, he blocked a shot with his face, but I just have a hard time like actually thinking.
He's made a whole career off that.
Yeah, like, but I mean, he was on the bench long enough to watch these skilled guys. Like, I just have a hard time believing that he's gonna just be like, all right, York, just dump the puck in. I give him a little more credit than
I agree with
that.
I believe there's conversations being had between Tortorella, the Flyers staff, the Phantom staff. Like, they're really, I don't think they would just like deviate from the course of York's development like that. I think they will hone in on it down there.
I mean, you would hope. Personally, I think he'll be back in 10, 11 games. 2-3 games would be incredible. That would really mean he got the Farabee treatment. Go back
one
down
injury
there.
away as well.
Yeah, true. That's also true. But I'm so confused with this whole roster thing. Like, is Zamula and Adder, they're both on the team?
So, from what I saw, I think Adder is on the team, but Zamula is not. So Zamula will start the season in the AHL, and Adder will be the 7th defenseman.
See, that doesn't make any sense to me. If the kids aren't going to, if Adder's not going to be playing, why is he the 7th defenseman? Why isn't he in the AHL?
I think he's going to get in over Sealer a lot. Like, I think Sealer might be a guy that Torts likes to throw in there for a tone-setting type game, and then like the very next game, Adder's in there. And like we were talking about earlier, there's going to be a lot of movement between, Lehigh Valley and Philly. So I'm assuming, I think Sealer's probably going to fight someone Thursday. And then I think he's probably going to get pulled the next game. And I think Adder will probably get game 2. Like, I honestly think it's going to be that type of scenario.
Just like when he fought Alexiak like 5 games in last year. I was going to say, Zamula's he was on like the roster they released.
Is he?
Right.
I'm talking out of my ass, so I could be wrong.
They have 8 D-men on the roster. So
I have no idea what's going on with that whole situation, to be honest with you. It's very, very confusing.
What about the goalie situation, guys?
Yeah, so Sandstrom opened up the season on season opening IR, so he won't be ready to start. So it's Urson.
I kind of prefer Urson, to be honest with you guys. I prefer him, but like, they're both very good goaltenders, and I'm pretty pumped. Like, honestly, when Fedotov, that whole situation happened, everybody was all pissed off and upset. But like, honestly, like, yeah, it sucks for Fedotov, and like, hopefully he'll be here next year. But Sandstrom and Urson are both great, and I'm
Fedotov though. That's the Russian mutant. I want it. He had like 95 save percentage in the KHL, but he's 6'8". Like, holy fuck, boys.
Yeah, like Dan Forth, he was ripping that Russian gas, right, Coots?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was. Well,
we
off
can't
the
talk
record.
about that,
Off the
allegedly.
record. Off the record.
That
Wait,
entire
who?
situation is terrible.
Yeah.
Down to, we don't even know where that guy is at this point.
He's up north somewhere.
He could be in Kiev,
Stationed.
all we know.
Like, what's the last update we gotten on him? Dude, I kind of forget.
He's in a ghillie suit.
He sent Morse code over.
From what I remember, I think he was like, his station was he was supposed to train for 6 months, and then he'd be like basically in the armed forces for 6 months, like on assignment. Who knows what that assignment's going to be, but...
Jesus, that's scary. I hope he stays safe, man. Like, seriously, that's a very scary situation. But Urson and Sandstrom, that's a very fun. It's another fun situation.
Yeah, you're right. Urson, I'm excited for Urson. He played really good.
Did he
Like
let
he
it
looked
go
really
up?
crisp.
The entire preseason?
And Torts loved him. Torts was like, did he even let up a goal?
Yeah, I know. It's a
Grosenick, on the other hand, looked like a
that guy
roller hockey
sucks.
goalie who like got placed in overnight.
Dude, well, with Sandstrom, like he played like 1 or 2 games last year. I remember he had like a over 40 save game in like
Yeah.
San Jose, and then they just like stopped. They just sent him back down. I was like, what the fuck are they? I don't know like how they're handling him really, or if we'll see a lot of him in the NHL. Like if Urson plays well in the NHL, like I doubt they'll call Sandstrom up at any point unless there's an injury. Speaking of injuries, what the fuck's going on with Carter Hart? Like, is he healthy? Like, he didn't play 1 preseason game.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of kept us in the dark with that entire situation. But, I mean, he's been practicing. He's been on the ice the last couple weeks. So, I mean, I feel like if it was a regular season situation, he would be in there. So, we'll see Thursday.
They didn't give him any, any
Nothing.
ice time.
I know,
So.
nothing. I mean, it's something to worry about going into a season. The goalie
He's
not seeing
practicing
one
against
shot.
the fucking Flyers muffin shots at him. So
Bro.
And what's the latest update with Cam Atkinson as well? Is everything okay with him?
Apparently, he went back to Columbus to see a specialist that he's been seeing for a very long time and to mend to a personal issue, and then he'll be back in Philadelphia either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
And then Tortorella said he's very confident that he'll be playing Thursday.
he just
Probably
stays in Columbus, doesn't come back.
doesn't come back. I mean, he'll probably be on. Not Frost's line. I mean, no, probably Cates' line with Farabee on that third line, or
Yeah, what's Farabee starting on the third line just to get himself ramped up?
that's my guess is to kind of get him back into game shape. Don't want to put him on the first line, even
Do
though
you
him on
guys-
the. Yeah.
Do you guys expect a slow return from Farabee, or do you think
No,
business as
not at
usual?
all.
He'll be back just fine.
I think he's gonna be good. Dude. He's been on
Yeah.
the ice for the last 5 months.
I think he's
kinda,
potting 30 and 30.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, bold take.
I
think
kinda-
it's a
honestly-
hot start.
Honestly, we can get right into that. Why not? Who leads the team in goals? 5 predictions for the season. I mean, we can start with Z.
Atkinson.
Okay, I mean that's a
Any
pretty safe-
reasoning behind that, Z, or are you just going to say the guy's name?
I think he's
Atkinson.
just Atkinson. We did this last year, and that was my pick, and I was correct. I just think he's the most talented goal scorer on the team.
That's fair. Coots.
DG's gonna love this, but I think Torts
No,
gets
go,
Connect Me
baby.
going.
No,
Yep.
Nice.
Throwing it out there.
I like that. I like it.
27. 27.
27 Gs.
Yeah.
It
All right,
sounded
well.
like that'll lead the team. But Z, by the way, Van Riemsdyk led the team last year in goals.
Fuck, did he?
24. Yeah, 24.
God damn it!
Actually,
I
had
forgot
24.
Atkinson got injured at the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Get
know
on,
what-
Z.
Do you know what James Van Riemsdyk does when games don't matter, man? Come on.
Yeah,
He
he
had,
must have got 10 in the last 5 games.
Yeah,
I stopped
crazy
paying
like that.
attention.
To
at
get his
some point.
bonus. He got
I
a
do remember
500K
that.
bonus for hitting 20.
Yeah, towards the end of last season of our pod, we talked about how JVR put up 20 points in the last 30 games of the season when we were shit out of luck.
Still minus 33.
Oh yeah, well, I mean we've clipped a couple of spots on our previous episodes of Danny just screaming about how he does not. I mean he does nothing when the games matter, and then when they don't matter against Ottawa,
As soon as
he's
Drew
Gretzky.
gets traded, 2-goal games, 2-goal game,
Yeah.
1-goal game. Like, all right, bro.
Danny would be so upset when he would see JVR score. He wouldn't care. It's so funny. But Gritty, what's your prediction for goals?
I guess since I had that hot take, I'm going to have to follow it through with it. So I think Farabee's going to lead the team with at least 30 goals. I'm going to go with a clean 32.
Oh, hitting 30.
See,
We have to. Somebody has to 30 eventually for this fucking team. Why
Who's
not?
the last one,
Why not
Hartnell?
Farabee?
Did Simmons have a 30 goal?
Yeah, I think it was Simmons.
After
Yeah, after
Yeah.
Arnold.
I'm gonna jump hop in because I agree. I think it's gonna be Farabee. I think it would have been Farabee
There we
last year
go.
if he didn't get hurt. And I think he's gonna. I think he has 2 goals to start out the weekend. So we'll see.
Oh,
Danny?
dude.
my
Sorry, Danny.
Christopher. I'm going with Travis Connect Me. And
Oh, there we go.
I can't believe I'm doing it because I've shat on him the last two
Dude,
seasons. But I just think chip on his shoulder, Tortorella's system. I think this is the year he kind of steps up, and he's a big part of this team. He's been here a while, and if he wants to take it, he can take it and be a important member of this core going forward. And I think that chip on his shoulder, he's gonna hit 30.
I want to jump in here because I know for a fact, Chris, Danny, I don't know you guys well enough, but I know for a fact that out of our pod, I'm the biggest TK lover out of anyone.
Biggest or only?
Maybe the only. Actually, to be honest with you,
we've been rough on him. Like, this is kind of surprising coming from me. At least probably to Chris.
No,
so the fact that there's two guys picking TK for leading the team in goals and one of them wasn't me is astonishing to me. So I just wanted to point that out.
I mean, I just love watching him hit glass 7 times a game. It's great, man.
I just want to make some comments on these picks. Farabee pick, I really fucking hope he scores over 30 goals. I feel like he catches the fucking pass first bug a lot, and he should just be ripping shots, and sometimes he tries to set guys up too much and gets in his own head, and I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Shoot the fucking puck. And then TK, I don't know if he'll get enough goals, but I think he'll definitely put the points up with the assists.
I kind of agree with that. That's why I didn't pick TK. I think he's more of a assist man.
So we can go over to points, and I'll just start. I have TK as having the most points on the team. And I think a majority of those will be assists, obviously.
How many points are you thinking? I think the most he's ever put up is like mid-50s. Actually, no, wait. Did he put 62 up that one year or something like that?
That shortened year?
Konechny's highest point total is 61 in 2019-2020.
Yeah, 61 and 66 games.
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
I mean, he's probably the safest pick. I mean, if Couturier was healthy, it'd be Couturier for me.
For sure.
But, yeah, I mean, Konechny. I mean, that's probably my pick. It's not saying a lot, but yeah, Konechny.
Dude, this is the Konechny podcast now, huh?
Danny, especially after our summer with this guy.
I mean, I've been a Stan my whole life.
It just hit me like 5 minutes ago.
I'm going off the wall, boys.
Let's hear it.
Oh, God.
Tony D.
No.
He's going to lead.
Get out of here.
We're going to have a team with a leading defenseman.
Cootie.
Honestly, I was going to say forever just to see if you guys would like react and what you would say, but
Bro, I'm telling you, he put up 51 points with Carolina, which was a stacked team.
Yeah,
now he's going to have all the reins. But he's going to have all the reins.
Yeah, but Carolina
he's
was
not
an
gonna
offensive
have
powerhouse.
Aho and Teravainen setting him up.
He's just going to be ripping it from the point. It don't matter. And you have Torts. Torts loves him.
I mean, he's going to get a lot of power play points. I'll give you that.
yeah.
If we have a good power play.
Don't write it
tell
off.
Me Provorov's not going to be on the power play.
He's on the second unit, but apparently that second unit has been outplaying that first unit every day in practice for the last like week.
You know why it
doesn't
has?
mean anything because we have
You know
like the
why
worst
it
PK
has?
too.
Because Noah Cates and Frost are fucking G's.
They definitely have something. That's something that they need to keep together, at least on the power play. If they're not going to do it with lines, it needs to be on the power play, them two together.
I think what's Frost 2C and Noah Cates is 3C to start the year. So yeah, they'll definitely be on the power play line together.
I like Cates at center. Like he's just a solid hockey player.
Do you guys see people comparing Cates to Richie a little bit? Just always making the right decisions, always in the right spot. Mike Richards.
Mike Richards.
Okay, I thought it was like Nick Ritchie.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at first too.
My dad used to call him Lil Richie all the time.
Yeah,
so I call him
I've
Richie.
never heard Richards referred to as Richie. I don't
Dude,
think.
what was he, like 5'8"? Like he was a short guy. He wasn't tall.
Like Richards?
Yeah, he wasn't a big dude. I don't think he was.
Not 5'8".
5'8", dude.
It's like
Maybe
5'10".
5'10" on skates.
He's probably like. I thought he was like 6 foot.
Someone
That's honestly
fact
a
check.
really good comparison because like neither jump out with you with their skill, but they always make the right play. They're not the fastest players in the world, but like they're always in the right spot, making the right play. So I mean, that's a pretty good comparison. I haven't seen that though, like on Twitter or anything.
saw
I mean,
a few.
let's
and,
not start comparing Noah Cates to Mike Richards. Please.
No, I'm not, but like the playing style at least, it's definitely similar. I
Exactly.
could definitely see it.
Cates is a real deal, though. Good player.
We
Yeah, he's fun to watch for sure. I like
who hasn't
Jackson,
done
too.
points? Who hasn't done points?
I haven't
I'm
done
saying
points.
TK, and like I don't need to explain. So I'll let one of you guys go.
I'm going TK as well.
Jeez.
All gonna say TK because
Except Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D.
Yeah.
Hey, TK's always been the secondary assist king, and I already picked him for my goals pick, so I
Dude,
got
this has got to be a graphic. 4 guys picking TK and 1 guy picking Tony D.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
know. I'm gonna go out.
It's more of a testament to how shitty the team is, though. If you
Yeah,
really
exactly.
think about it.
Definitely.
I'll say somebody different just so it's not all connecting and then Tony D'Angelo. But I'll say Cam Atkinson.
All
Yeah, I
right.
like that one.
First
My
year
one
back
problem
towards-
with Cam is that he doesn't get the apples.
Yeah, I think he's.
I mean, he
gonna
had
score,
27 last year.
He did.
Yeah, but he'll put like 25 goals and 25 assists. He's not going 25 and like 40, you know?
Okay.
I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
not like Danny said. It's not going to take much to lead this
Yeah.
team. I don't think so.
Well, the good
see.
thing about Cam, he's like a honey badger out there. You know, he's always like he'll get assists just from shooting the puck.
True.
He creates a lot like that.
I mean, I think we're all wrong. To be honest, I mean, it's going to be Owen Tippett, right? 100%.
Yeah,
know about
I'm a
points.
big Tippett guy.
I mean, he's been. I have not been impressed with him this preseason at all. I haven't even noticed him.
Well, let's go on to the next topic then. Let's do breakouts.
Because
and
Torts
busts.
is making him do Russian sprints every day.
Yeah, the whole team's honestly probably down, dude. They've been getting ran in practice.
Doing a KHL training camp, for God's sakes.
I love that they're just doing they're getting bag skated and doing suicides every day. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, I just pictured him just yelling at, like, no one respects you, like, just putting them down.
Nobody even dare try the Michigan. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, no
Oh my God,
creativity.
no.
Not
Imagine
that
if,
like
like,
anybody.
imagine
on
if
the team
Morgan
could.
Frost did that. He'd be sent to the shadow realm if he tried to do a Michigan.
Him and Fair would be the only two I think could probably even attempt it during the game, but I don't know if
Since
they
we're
could do it.
since we're like kind of moving on to breakouts or busts, I kind of want to talk about Morgan Frost a little bit because I think this is, if there's going to be a breakout, like this is the year for Frost to break out, if anything. I mean, obviously injuries have plagued him a little bit in the past. What was the last one? His shoulder.
Yeah.
But I think this year he's fully healthy coming in a full off season. He's got Torts as his coach. I think he's actually going to be able to play his game, not the bullshit, shit that was going on last year with the defense first. Even though, like, I do like defense first, like, you got to let guys like Morgan Frost who are creative do their thing. And I think this is the year for him to do it. And I'm hoping that he's going to break out.
I'll just go next because I have Morgan Frost as my bust.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope that he's not a bust, but I just feel like we're still so high on him, and he hasn't really proven anything in the NHL. And like, you can do all you want in preseason and your fancy passes, but if you can't do it in when the games count, then no good. You're a bust. As my breakout, though, I have Cates. So interesting that they may be playing on the same line at some point. But we already talked about how good we think Cates is, and I think he'll end up with more points than Martin Frost this year for sure.
Yeah, I've been saying Tippett since the end of last season, and I think the NHL's been hearing my my takes because they listed him at number 10 for a breakout season. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I did.
not.
And I saw a bunch
Yeah.
of like Florida fans clowning you too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going at it with the 4 Florida fans down there. But yeah. I mean, I'm gonna stick with Tippett. I think he's gonna rebound. I mean, he's got a cannon of a shot, and he should have had like 15 goals last year for us. I feel like
Yeah, he had a lot of posts.
a lot of
He did,
posts, a
yeah.
lot of like robberies. But
Who's your
yeah, I'm
bust?
going Tippett.
Who's
Yeah,
your
'cause you're-
bust, Coos?
Oh, bust. Oh, I didn't really even think about
Bust.
this, but I'm looking at the roster right now. Maybe like, I don't know. Okay, come back to me for that.
Yeah,
There's
who's
gonna be busts on this team, you know
Who's
that.
your-
So.
Who's
My
your boom and
breakout
bust?
is definitely Morgan Frost. I just feel like ever since the organization, the trade deadline last season when they gave him that vote of confidence, didn't put him on that paper move to have him eligible for the AHL playoffs. I think he's been improving since then. I think with him, like you said, the injuries, but also when he has played, he's been bouncing back and forth between the AHL, and he's been playing on the fourth line a lot with guys like McEwen, Patrick Brown, guys who just can't fucking score to save their lives. So I think this season playing in big spots, power play minutes. I think, I'm clinging onto the hope as well for Morgan Frost.
Who's your bust?
And
I like it.
for my bust, I guess Tippett.
Yeah.
Nah, Wade Allison.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a
Now,
yeah.
did we count being injured as being a bust? I don't think so, right?
No.
I mean, just from what I've seen from this camp, I haven't been too impressed, and
Oh, can I?
so
can I
honestly, it
give
has
you
nothing
mine?
to do with injury with me, I guess.
I don't know. I think some of the preseason games I saw Allison, he's a fucking workhorse, and he was actually creating, like play driving and creating the chances.
Hey, I hope I'm wrong.
I
He's
think with
definitely someone
Hayes'
I've been
goal,
high on in
forget
the
who was
past.
against the Islanders.
Yeah.
He's-
The
he-
one game he was really
created that.
noticeable, but other than that, I didn't really see anything from Wade Allison this camp.
That was Allison, Tippett, Hayes were playing on, or I don't know if
Yeah,
they're playing
yeah,
online, but they were
yeah.
all on the ice together.
Mhm.
I think he's created the turnover.
Yeah, that game he was
Yep,
good.
that one.
Agreed. But other than that, as camp went on, I thought but in the beginning of camp, I thought Allison was actually really good. But as it went on, I think he kind of railed off. But like Danny said, I hope we're wrong. Like he's a guy that can. He's another guy with a lethal shot. I mean, we could have Atkinson, Tippett, and then Allison on the right sides
And
shooting
Forster.
pucks, and Forster.
Yeah, and
eventually.
Forster down the line.
So I mean, it's exciting.
I think I want to jump in here and just talk about preseason and training camp a little bit. One thing about it, and like you're talking about how like you didn't really notice Allison that much some of the times, and like Tippett as well. I think we kind of just got to not think about training camp and preseason like that, especially because Tort is running these guys into the ground. Like these guys are winded after getting bag skated after bag skate, and then they're going and playing a preseason game that night. I think obviously you want them to look good in preseason, but I don't think at the end of the day it matters. I think if that starts to happen within the first 10 games, then yeah, we can write that narrative and talk about that. But like for now, I'm giving everybody a clean slate, and we'll find out what happens, when the season kicks off Thursday.
Yeah. Allison did look like he lost a little bit of a step, but he's been injured so much.
Playing hesitant, maybe.
Playing a little hesitant, yeah. But you're right. I mean, I think the only way we can judge is seeing him play like at least like 10, 15 games, see where everyone's at.
I mean, I think they're going to start out slow, so I don't think the first 5 games are going to be measuring sticks for any of these players. I think the first 5 games are going to be brutal. I don't think they're going to get an identity for at least a month into the season, maybe a little bit more than that. Like, it's going to take some time for Torts to really get his hands on this team, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't even think I did my breakout. I think my breakout's going to be Noah Cates, if that even counts as a breakout, because I'm pretty sure all Flyers fans have him as their guy. But I mean, he's just a really good hockey player. I mean, he's a guy that you would always want on your team during the playoffs. Just always in the right spot, finishes his check. He's just a good hockey player. And my boss Tippett, I don't think, like you said, I mean, obviously you gotta wait a little bit more into the season, but yeah, I just don't think he is as good as everyone thinks he is going to be. Other than like that shot, he doesn't really do anything for me. But I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he turns into a 30-goal scorer. But that's my initial thoughts on him.
I love his speed though. Like he wheels around out there. I know. The preseason, whatever. But last season, I thought he was really coming into his stride. So,
Hey,
and I know
Coots.
nobody's rooting against like the bus picks.
No, absolutely not.
Coots,
I
I
hope
want you
they're
to-
all stars.
Coots, I want you to talk about Hayden Hodgson a little bit because I know he's your boy, and I don't
Well-
think he's that hot.
Well, when he
but-
played, he came up for us last year, and I was like, I think he had a goal and assist in like 5 games, and I was like, and he had a fight or 2, and I was like, whoa, like maybe this guy could be our like Tanner Janot, because Janot came from the coast, and they're around the same age, same size, and then he kind of like vanished and went to the AHL, and I was like, kind of forgot about him. Then he came up again during preseason. And I'm like, DG, he's going to make the roster. He's going to make the opening roster. And he does. He's like a
Unbelievable.
typical Torts guy. I don't think he is like going to be Tanner Janot. But I had hope. You know what I mean?
He's
and
an
I don't
NPC.
think. Yeah, I don't. I like that new term. I don't think he'll be on the team for long. I think he'll be one of the guys getting sent down and up and whatnot.
Well, the only reason, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the only reason why he's on the team is because he's not waiver exempt. So like
True.
they don't want to lose him, so he's on the team. That's why. It's the only reason why.
Hey, I'm rooting for him too.
I was gonna say, did you see what Torts said about his camp? He was like, he was okay. Like he was just okay. Like,
And then people
He wasn't
exploded.
bad.
They were like, "Why does Hayden Hodgson get a roster spot if he's okay, and then York gets sent down?" I'm like, because Hayden Hodgson, they don't want to lose him for some reason. They like this guy. They value these traffic cones. It's insane. to me.
Yeah. This is button pushing with York. Like,
Just let Hextall pick up Hodgson. Who gives a fuck?
Who cares, dude? Has Hextall even changed that roster over there, other than like Raquel?
No, he just re-signed the 3 aging fucks.
Yeah, the Tang Malkin, and who was the other one that? they signed?
The fucking short guy. Shit. Blonde
I
hair.
I
don't
thought
know.
I thought
Brian
Malkin was gonna
Rust, maybe?
walk.
Yeah, Brian Rust.
Yeah,
I think they
Rust, yeah,
signed him
you're
to a
right.
4-year deal or something.
he's pretty good. But
Yeah, he is.
DG, you didn't do your bus player, I don't think.
I didn't. I would have to agree with you guys on Tippett, even though I don't want him to bust. I just can't think of anybody else who's honestly gonna be a bust on this team. So it would have to be Tippett.
Can we like AHL fringe guy, AHL NHL fringe guy? Because
Yeah.
Go ahead.
for me, I was gonna say Radcliffe. Because
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
I had hope
I
for
think
him.
he's already a bust.
Yeah, I
is
had
like
hope for him.
This is like a sleeper pick. You're saying a guy that might end up coming up to the big club and earning some time.
I'm just saying I don't even think he'll be an NHL player.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees with that.
But no, when he came up, I was like, oh, maybe he's one of those guys that's not really an AHL guy, but translates better to the NHL. Because remember he came up, played kind of good,
Yeah, he did.
but during
I liked him on the
preseason,
fourth line.
he just looked lost, man. He would get the puck and it would like lose it in his feet and just like did not look all there. But I don't know. Maybe that's not really a hot hot take, but it's just everyone on here is pretty much standard in my opinion. I can
What are you just calling us average? Oh, you're saying the players and the Flyers.
Yeah.
You're talking
yeah,
about us.
everyone on the Flyers is like good, average, bad to good already, you know.
Yeah.
So I can't really.
We'll see though. You guys want to start talking about other teams so we can
yeah,
not
I mean,
talk
we can
about the Flyers?
we can start getting into who we think's gonna win these divisions
Cool.
if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. Where should we start? I guess let's start with the Metro,
Yeah,
and then
let's-
we go
let's do
from
it.
there.
Danny, what do you think the Metro? What do you think, bud?
Carolina.
Yeah, that's my pick too.
They're just
Yeah,
a
me too.
powerhouse.
Me three.
I also agree. I think they're a dark horse. Not even a dark horse. I think they're a top 5 team to win the cup.
They're my favorite. They would be my early pick.
Good pick, boys, but I put New York Rangers.
Fuck.
Tampa
Yeah,
just tied it up against New York right now, 1-1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Biz-
why didn't I
Biz-
take Stamkos shots? I fucking hate myself.
They said the Rangers are frauds.
He's wrong. I think they take
Listen,
the
Igor's
next
a
step.
stud.
They played,
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
gonna carry him as long as he's
Oh, yeah.
healthy.
but I like their team up front, like with Zibanejad and Panarin and all those bad boys, and Fox on the back end, and Keandre Miller, great player.
Could have had him.
Yep.
Did they make any notable additions? I think they got Trocheck and overpaid him.
That's
Yeah,
essentially it.
Trocheck. They lost Cop,
Oh yeah.
so
They
They lost Niels
replaced Kopp
Lundqvist too, right? The
and
kid.
Ryan
Yeah.
Strome. Or was it Dylan? I think it's
Ryan.
Ryan.
It's Ryan Strom. Yeah, he
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to like Anaheim. or
Dylan was in
something.
Chicago.
that is kind of a tough loss too.
Yeah, those are notable losses.
I think they got low key worse.
Yeah,
Really,
I think Kopp was a really good
I
fit
think
there.
I think that young line could make a splash like the
The
Kako,
Lafreniere line.
Lafreniere.
Well, I think that's what they're banking on. Is
Yeah.
the younger guys
That- they
to
gotta.
step up.
It's now or never, kids.
I mean, they relied on Shazurkin a lot last year, so I think
Oh,
that they
for
take a
sure.
step back because I don't think he's going to be able to do that again. Can't rely on a goalie every year in, year out.
Yeah, and I was listening to the pregame before this game happened tonight, and they're saying the Rangers get 52 wins last year, and that was like the second most in franchise history. That's literally because of Igor. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast for sure. Who didn't answer the Metropolitan Division question yet? I said Carolina.
Yeah, we
Danny
all
said
have Carolina and then
Do
the
we?
Rangers.
4 Carolinas, 1. Yeah.
All right, I mean, we can move right on to the Atlantic then. Gritty, what do you think is going to win the Atlantic?
God, I'm gonna have to go with Toronto. I still think Tampa's
Yep.
probably the better team, but like Tampa doesn't really turn up the Jets until the postseason. I think Toronto's probably gonna light it up during the regular season, and then do what Toronto does and lose in the first round.
exit.
Yeah.
I have the same exact prediction.
Who else could arguably come in first? Like, does anyone have a different pick? Other than Tampa or Toronto?
Florida could.
Oh fuck, I'm an idiot.
I went with Toronto.
Can I
too.
change my
think
team?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can, sure.
Taking Florida.
Matty Kachuk, baby.
Bold.
Yeah.
That was bold. I think it's Toronto's year to get out of the first round.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Toronto too. I think Toronto wins that division.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Nice.
I think they're gonna be
Matthews
pissed
might
off
get
after losing
70
the
goals
Cup.
this year.
He might. Honestly, I was gonna say Ottawa as a sleeper, but I don't think they can win that division.
I don't think they'll win the division. I mean,
Playoff.
they'll fight for a playoff spot.
Yeah, they'll be a
Oh,
fun
I
team
mean,
to watch,
that
but-
division's so stacked. You
They're
still
just
got
gonna
like
score a lot
Boston
of
fighting
goals.
in there.
Detroit's gonna be good.
Yeah, Detroit's gonna be better. I think. Dude, the thing with Ottawa, they might pick up a goaltender at like a trade deadline.
They got Talbot.
Who
though.
was their
He's
goalie?
He's
He's injured right now.
He's injured for like 4 to 6 weeks though, and
But
they
they-
have
I don't know
forget
if he's the guy though.
who's going to be the guy to
Forsberg?
start.
Oh,
I
that
feel like
guy
the
always
East
plays
is like
good
a
versus-
powerhouse. I feel like there's shitty teams in the West, whereas the East is just loaded.
Yeah, the
with
East
talent.
is good. Scares me.
Like we just named like every team in the Atlantic, that
Except Montreal.
except for Buffalo and
Yeah,
Montreal.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
obviously.
All right, so the Pacific. Who do you think wins it? I think it's gonna be Edmonton. I don't think anyone's gonna be better than them. Maybe Calgary. But
Yeah, I have Calgary. I was deciding between them and Edmonton. Who's Edmonton's goaltender? Jack Campbell.
Yeah, dude, huge upgrade. I think
Big
Edmonton's a
upgrade.
dark horse for the cup.
I still think Calgary. I think they somehow like broke even losing Goudreau and Kachuk
I
and getting
think-
Kadri and
I think
Huberdeau and
they-
Uyghur.
I think they bumped up.
I think that they might have bumped up a tick
I
because
think
they
their
got
play
to add on
style-
defense.
Yeah.
And like you're saying with the play style, I think Kadri fits in there pretty well.
I think
how Sutter coaches.
Markstrom's a better goalie than
Yeah,
Campbell.
exactly. That was my other point.
I picked Calgary too. I think Kadri is getting a lot of shit for leaving. He's not going to be as good on another team, so he's going to have a little motivation. And along with Huberdeau apparently fucked off the GM over there in Florida, so he's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Calgary, I agree. I think they're going to take it, but I like Edmonton to win the cup. Like if I had,
It's
to,
going to
like,
be fun.
bet on
That's
it,
good. The Battle of Alberta is back
that's how
better
I
than
feel.
ever.
I took a free bet Huberdeau to win the Hart Trophy this year.
Yeah.
It's like plus 3,500, and
Ooh,
he came in
that's a good
5th
one.
last year, and it was free bet. So I
He
was like,
should have
fuck
been
it.
in the fucking top 3.
He easily should have been, dude. He's unbelievable. And did you guys see that move that he had the other day in preseason where he just did that spinorama to get out of the
Yeah, it was
his
sick.
D zone? Oh my god, it was awesome.
And then the Central. Who we think? I mean, I think it's a pretty obvious pick. Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you pick against them.
Can't.
That
They-
team is
yeah.
Could be a
loaded.
dynasty in the making.
I would argue St. Louis has a chance.
No.
Oh, I have a hot take about them that they miss the playoffs.
Really,
St. Louis.
Yeah, they're
Because
getting old. They don't have much young guys on that team anymore.
and like
Robert Thomas,
well, yeah,
Kyrou,
I know those two, but after that, man,
the Jew that was promised. He's Jewish, right?
I don't know.
you thought Robert Thomas was a defenseman. We have
Yeah,
to call you
yeah,
out on
you have
that.
no room to
So
talk
don't
about
come
the
at me.
Blues.
Listen. That's the old.
I love
DJ.
Robert Thomas too. Like that's my guy.
I just think Bennington's not good.
Yeah,
He had a lucky run.
and
in
their
those
backup is
playoffs.
Thomas Grease. Like what?
Yeah, Grice is their back. They lost Billy Huso
I-
to
Greece.
I have
Grease.
Grice.
Right.
I have a
Grease.
funny story about Thomas Grice. And so I used to train here in Atlantic City and practice with Justin Williams and like Seidenberg and a few other like local college guys. And so Williams was pretty much chirping Seidenberg like, hey, like like, who do you even have in goal over there for Team Germany? He's like, oh, well, we have Thomas Grease. And Williams goes, he just laughs. He goes, ha! I never heard of anyone saying, oh, it's going to be a long night. They got Thomas Grease in net. And Seidenberg was rattled, like visibly rattled.
That's funny as shit.
It was all good jokes.
Justin
though.
Williams, Philly legend.
Yeah, and
The one that
Seidenberg.
got away.
And Seidenberg.
And yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I don't see good things from St. Louis. I think they take a step back.
What's Vegas in that division too?
I think Vegas comes back
Yeah.
to with a vengeance.
Vegas is in the Pacific with Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who
But,
did Vegas pick up?
Who did they pick up? They got rid
They got
of
a healthy
Pacioretty,
Stone back.
which
and a
sucks.
healthy.
They gave him away for nothing.
Oh yeah, he's in Carolina now, right?
Who? Burns?
Pacioretty, yeah. Carolina. That's why Carolina, like, they got Pacioretty for nothing.
Yeah.
How many goals does Phil Kessel score in Vegas?
Oh yeah, that's who they got. Phil Kessel.
15.
23.
I think about 20.
Yeah, I think he easily puts up 20.
I think he easily breaks Yandle's
That's a good bet,
fucking
over
Iron
under.
Man streak.
I can't believe that. I can't even talk about that last year. That'll piss me off.
Stop
it. It's not.
But Colorado, like they got an. I mean, I think they got an upgrade health wise on Kemper with Georgiev, and then
like Georgiev.
who they only lost Kadri. They re-signed Shushkin and
And
what's
Manson.
it? Manson, and who was the guy they got from Montreal again? The Finnish guy at trade deadline last year.
can't
Fuck.
Kind of forgot.
The one thing I think Newhook's going to take, like, he's going to have a breakout this year. I think he's going to play second line
Step
minutes.
in for Kadri.
Yeah, exactly.
I think. Do you guys ever just watch Colorado and like wonder like how are
cry?
they even the same league as the Flyers?
Yeah, all the time.
All
I mean,
the
they're in
time.
a different league than 25
teams.
other teams in the league. So.
Do you know how
Yeah.
many times last year I would turn off the Flyers game after watching that for 2.5 hours and then go watch another hockey game and just feel refreshed? Just be
It's
oh,
like
this
always-
is hockey.
It's always so slow, and then whoever plays the Flyers looks slower too. Like if Colorado played the
Because they
Flyers,
played
it
at,
just
yeah, they play down
it
to our
just-
level.
Yeah,
They got drunk the night before in Center City.
It's like the classic growing up in high school where you're playing like the 0-10 team and
Yeah.
your team's sick, but you end up like beating them by like one goal because you're just not trying the whole game. That's Colorado when they come to Philly.
Arturi Lehkonen was the guy I was thinking of. He had
Good
14 points in 20 games in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
8 goals, 6 assists. So he was pretty solid for him. Had a lot of chemistry. Like fucking Rantanen, Landeskog, and McKinnon and Makar and Taves are just so good. They stole Taves from
They
fucking the
stole.
Islanders.
I
dude.
cannot get it. I'll never get over that. They stole him.
What was it, 2 seconds?
Yeah, it was the same
Big
thing we
Lou.
traded for Braun.
Losing his touch.
Oh God, fucking Chuck.
Before we get into like random topics, who are your sleeper teams coming out this year? Who do you think is going to be a little bit better than people think?
I mean, we talked about Ottawa a little bit.
Mhm.
I think they can make a playoff push. Again, that division is just so tough. They might get a wild card spot. And then also
Columbus.
Are the Ducks?
Columbus for sure for me.
I'm going to say the Ducks because I think they're going to be a good team this year. I think they make some nice additions too.
All right.
I like that. That's a good one.
Getzlaff
so-
comes back.
he's
I
retired.
mean, it's always fun watching Trevor Zegras play. So
They're either going to be
Troy
good
Terry.
or be trading John Gibson.
Who's the rookie that's playing for them this year?
McTavish. That's going to be really
McTavish,
fun.
yeah.
They got Klingberg too.
They did get Klingberg. I mean, they have Frank Vetrano as well. They got Ryan Strome. So
Gibson's one of the best goalies in the league. for
That's
sure.
where Ryan Strome went.
yeah, they got Kulikov on the back end, Shattenkirk, Vakinen,
This,
Fowler,
good.
Drysdale.
I like it.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a
Gibson's
good
great
team.
too.
Yeah.
Um,
Solid.
That's actually a solid one. I like that.
Thank you.
For me, I think Columbus for sure. I mean, I know a lot of people think they'll be back too, or at least make a little bit of noise. But for me, a little more out of the blue, I think Winnipeg gets back into the mix.
Nice.
Who's coaching them?
Oh God, it's more of a player's coach. I can't remember.
I thought it was DeBoer, or am I wrong?
DeBoer?
Oh, you
I think
might be
It's
right.
Rick, it's Rick Bowness, the Dallas coach.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I think it's Bowness.
It's Bonus.
Sorry, I had to throw a curve.
I just like their roster. They got really good players. I know they had some locker room issues, but with a players coach like that, maybe they get it all situated and get rid of Dubois.
They're a talented team. Like me and Danny have talked on our podcast multiple times about how are they so bad? Because you go down their list, their roster. Some of their guys that have on their team are just wow. Like they would be stars on the Flyers. Ehlers, Connor, Blake Wheeler,
Dude,
all these
Ehlers,
guys.
I love fucking
they're
Nikolai
awesome.
Ehlers.
Oh my
So
god, he's one of
yes.
Kyle Connor is one of my favorite players in the league. I think he's the most
Dirty.
underrated player in the league.
He was at Konechny draft, right?
Wheeler was
Yes.
always underrated too, to me.
Yeah.
I know he's older
Yeah.
now. And
Backstrom,
Scheifele.
a couple years ago before he got hurt for me, Backstrom over there in Washington was the most underrated.
Oh well,
player.
yeah.
yeah.
He's that guy's the man.
Dude, Winnipeg, the wheels fell off after Bufflin retired, like, surprisingly.
After Buffalo just decided to
That
just
guy.
get up and leave, never come
Yeah.
back.
He's a skating
Because
refrigerator.
they were like a, potential, like, Stanley Cup contender. They kept running into fucking good teams in, like, the second round.
What
Could
was
you have
the
some?
random topic that we wanted to get into? Because I don't want to forget it before we get out of here. Do you guys remember?
Oh, was that? No, I do not. But I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff we can talk about. Anybody have stuff? 'Cause
The photo shoot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the fucking
There it
Billy
is.
Leno.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Yeah, so Billy Leno partnered with the Flyers with his clothing line and posed
Billy-
with Konechny, Rasmus, and Joel, and then Hayes as well. I think that's all who was in the picture.
JVR
Yeah.
as well.
JVR, yeah.
JVR was the only one that smiled in his. Everyone else was like mean mugging it.
Guys,
Fucking TK.
look like you're mad. Look like you just lost 6-0. That's easy.
It looked like a fucking album cover. The first one was
Oh,
Sanheim,
fucking,
TK,
fucking-
and Leno.
Delorier was in there, too.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Nick Delorier. That's another thing we didn't even talk about on the pod.
How much do you think that merch is?
It's
I think
probably
that's
pretty
that.
penny.
I think that jacket that TK's wearing is like $500.
You serious?
No.
150.
I would say, yeah, I would say that jacket's like 150.
It's a nice jacket, but I ain't paying no 150 for it. Look good in it though.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying shit with the Flyers logo on it until they're good again.
I don't know. The merch looked fucking
I'll get a
good.
T. Cool little
happened?
T.
Oh.
All right, who has the most fights on the Flyers next year?
Fucking
Delorier.
Ah.
It better be Delorier.
Ronnie Adder. He's gonna fight Ross Johnson.
Morgan
4 times.
Frost.
I'm going with Hodgson.
Honestly, if it's anybody other than Delorier, he's failing at the why
I
he's
know.
here.
Well, at least
not-
Delorier can play penalty kill, right?
Coots, I bet you Delorier has
I hope
more
not.
fights than Hodgson plays games.
I guarantee that too.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's a great
oh.
bet. I like
Little
that.
prop
That's
bet?
a nice bet.
Yeah.
What happens if you lose, Z?
Yeah.
I give Coots $100. All
All right. If I lose,
money.
I'll give you 20.
right.
It's good odds.
Danny, who do you think leads the team in fights?
It has to be Delorier.
I know. It probably is Delorier. I just was kind of stirring the pot.
He's literally not earning his contract if he isn't. doing that.
He's
But I
bought
think
in
people
to
are.
be a
Here's the
UFC
thing,
fighter.
though. I think people are afraid to fight him. Besides, like a select few in the league.
Dude, like, yeah, no, they wouldn't let him get near Johnson when Johnson was like beating the shit out of Adder for no reason.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's great. I kind of like that. People are legitimately afraid when he's on the ice that he's going to go after him. Honestly, I'm starting to think Chuck got a good signing. 4 years. We need this guy for 4 years.
I think the no trade really put the icing on the cake for me.
yeah.
We can't let anyone get at this guy. dude.
I'm gonna be clear. I'm joking.
Oh yeah, definitely know you're joking.
We never know with you, DG.
Well, yeah, you can't see my face. You don't know if I'm, being sarcastic or not.
Yeah, that too. Can't see that ugly mug.
Yeah, you'd be so lucky, man.
Honestly, I wanted to ask everybody who they think leads the team in PK goals. That's something. That's a
Cammy.
Cam Atkinson.
I think Hayes comes back with a vengeance on the PK.
Ooh, I like that too.
I have a
actually.
sleeper pick. I think it's going to be Noah Cates.
Ooh, I like that too.
See, he is Mike Richards. Told you.
No, he's Little Richie, as you would say.
Yes. Yep.
Just something we didn't mention. No one cares. Zach McEwen got sent down. I thought that was a little interesting, but I thought he'd be a good he'd just be on the fourth line the entire year.
Chris
I liked
said
him.
no, not at all.
No, not at
I
all.
mean, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be up and down. So
He didn't get claimed.
no,
Yeah,
no.
one wants him.
9 points last year. Sheesh.
Nobody
I feel
wanted
like
him
he was
except
the bright
us,
spot
baby.
last year.
We claimed him, and Patrick Brown, who's still here.
What's Nate Prosser up to these days? You think he?
Oh, wow, that's a name.
God, that guy.
He's waiting for his moment.
Was Connaughton claimed?
No,
No.
Come on, man.
none of our players have been claimed.
I don't know why they're so hesitant to send down Hodgson because he wouldn't get claimed
Oh
either.
my god, we're scared to lose him.
How about Belpedio? Just hanging around all of
Yeah.
camp too.
He cleared
fuck's
too.
that
Who?
guy?
He's playing with York down in
He said who?
with the
Wait, no, really? Who? Who'd you say?
Belpedio. He's a right-handed
Belpedio?
defenseman.
Belpedio.
37.
I assumed he was some scrub that was at
Elite.
training camp.
Yeah.
I don't even
I don't
remember
know
that
who
name.
he is
Elite.
though.
I mean, you'll see him by
Had
like
me cracking
Thanksgiving.
up watching him in the last preseason game.
When
By the way,
Adder-
I'm gonna have a PTSD watching Adder with fucking number 47 this year. He better
Yeah, that
change
was
that
a bad
goddamn
call.
number.
Mac.
They should get that off
Yeah.
of him.
See, that's another thing. What do you guys think about that? They should give these kids some new numbers, man. These some hideous ass numbers.
I
Cates,
think
Frost.
they can choose them, can they not?
No, they're their camp numbers.
Yeah, but they can choose.
builds
to switch,
character.
right? Once they're.
That might be coming out this week or something.
Nah,
Maybe like
I
before the
think-
game.
I don't mind Frost at 48. 49's a garbage number, but
Yeah,
I hate
49
Frost
is
at
trash.
48. I hate
Noah
it.
Cates taking
I just
1-8.
think of Danny Briere.
Yeah, I mean that's why I hate
So-
it.
I wish
That's the reason
York
why I
would
hate
switch
it.
off 45 too, personally.
Do we have a number
Yeah,
10? I
45.
would love a
I
number
hate.
10 on this
yeah,
team.
Braden Shen.
Yeah, Frost better be 10 or 26. That's what I want.
49 was Scott Lawton's camp number, and then
Mm-hmm.
Farabee's too.
Yeah.
So now it's Cates, right?
Now it's Cates.
Now it's
Not
Cates.
bad.
Those are two. Yeah, I like that. That means he's going to be good.
Yeah. Lawton only took like 7 years.
I'd
to
hate
become a
fucking Tippett at 74 too,
Oh yeah, it's another brutal number.
and
but
fucking
that's-
Allison 57.
Hot's at 42.
Dude, I'm
What are
happy.
these numbers?
Well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
happy. Ristolainen went back to 55.
I am. Yeah.
Fucking 70 was garbage.
Lazinski at 58 is weird too.
Yeah.
We
What's
didn't
the
talk
other-
about
what's the other
Lazinski either.
Cates boy?
I'm pretty happy that he made the team.
I'm happy, but I don't give a shit too.
Yeah.
If
fair.
Patrick Brown was healthy, he's not on this team.
True.
Because I mean, I don't think he won a camp. I mean, like a spot. It was just kind of open. And
It's like we
everything.
need centers.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest. I don't
There
think
you go.
our last player on the fourth line matters too much.
Oh no, definitely not. Absolutely not. Actually, I like Tanner. I think he's gonna be a good little player, but he's nothing crazy.
We're stocked full of nice role players for the bottom six.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting week. So who do we think wins Thursday? To wrap this up.
Devils 4-2.
Oh Jesus. Jack Hughes. Nico
That's a good
Hischier.
score.
If Carter Hart plays, I think we'll win. If he doesn't, we're gonna lose.
If
But even though I
Carter
do
doesn't
love
play,
the other
I'm
goalies.
very concerned.
Dude, the Devils have a sneaky good team too. They're
Adam
quick.
Palat.
Yeah. Dougie
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Subban finally retired.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
Imagine if they signed Johnny and we had to play him game one.
No. Don't get Danny started. He's muted. Look. Danny,
Trust
who do you
me,
think
man.
wins Thursday? Flyers, Devils.
Flyers are gonna win 2-1.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds
Ooh.
like a good score.
See, I agree. I think they win the first game, and then I think they lose against Vancouver on Saturday.
I'll
They
go
always seem to lose against them.
Flyers
Especially
win.
during afternoon
1-0.
games. It's at 4:00 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. I mean, they're
A
probably
nice
in Vancouver.
1-0
but
win. I like that.
I feel like we beat Vancouver a lot.
Yeah, I think we beat Vancouver as well. Then I think we go on a 4-game losing
We
streak.
go 2-0, yeah, and then we lose, 8 in a row.
We don't beat them when we're in Vancouver because we'll always lose that West
Oh,
Coast.
they
That-
beat us last
well,
home opener here.
I
Yeah,
remember.
overtime.
Well, I remember back in the day we beat them like 10-0, and then
How far back were you on there, Cootsy?
2011 maybe.
Okay.
And then all the highlights, like every time we go over there, we beat them by like 5 or more goals.
The Sedines were still like in the league in 2011, man. Holy shit.
Dude, what's gonna happen is
So
some
was Zach
random
Ronaldo.
some random dude on the Devils who some random dude on Devils is gonna score like 2 or 3 goals against us, and then not score against any other team in the league, and then when they play us again, he's gonna score like another goal.
Miles Wood.
No, not even him. I think it was like Michael McLeod last year. Some fucking random.
I played
He
with
just,
his
like,
brother
He just
up
put
in,
up goals
Oakville.
against us. He had 6 goals last year. I'm pretty sure 4 of them were against the Flyers.
Oh, that was like that Colin Blackwell guy. He was like all over us. I'm like, who is this
Colin Blackwell. I remember that one.
on the Rangers? He kept scoring and
He's
shit.
in the
for us.
Predators now.
Yeah,
He was before.
he's a journeyman.
All right. Any last thoughts, boys, before we wrap this one up?
Nah, man, this was fun. Thanks for having
Yeah,
us,
this was
guys.
fun. Good
Yeah,
little
seriously.
crossover.
Gotta do it again sometime. Probably near like Thanksgiving. We'll see where this team is at that point.
Yeah, of
Do a
course.
little check-in.
I like your guys' podcast, so it's always good to hook up with you guys. So,
Yeah,
down.
I think I listened to not your last one, but the second to last. I think I listened to a little bit of it. So definitely have you
Yeah.
guys back on for sure.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest like listener, but I like to jump around podcasts just to listen to certain shit here and
For
there.
sure. Danny, you want to close this one out, man? Episode.
Yep, this is episode 86. You can follow us on Twitter at the Liberty Yell. Follow Tie My Skates at Tie My Skates Pod, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You can follow us personally at TLY Danny, at Chris Stumps, at DrunkGritty00, at TieMySkates_Z, and at your boy Coots. Chris?
Go Floor.